Why, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. How are you two doing on this fine evening?
We're great.
So I'm guessing table for two?
Yes.
Okay, well, follow me. Would you like some water?
Yes, please.
Okay. You, dear?
Yes, please.
Be with you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I am Nolan. I will be your waiter today. May I interest you in an appetizer or something else to drink?
No, thank you. You dear?
No, thanks.
Are you sure? Our hydrogen gas is really going good today.
No, thank you.
No? Well, may I interest you in our special, a high mass star?
We're actually trying to cut back a little bit, but thank you.
Well, how about a low mass star?
What's a low mass star?
It's smaller than a high mass star. It's not as dense, and it's approximately a quarter to 12 times the size of the sun. Will that sound good for you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That sounds great.
Thank you so much for ordering.
As you can see here, we have our hydrogen gas cloud. And as gravity starts to pull it together, the cloud can become more dense. And once it pulls the cloud together in the middle, the gravity rises it and creates heat. And the heat starts to rise. As you can see here, it is still spinning. And now, fusion starts to occur.
As the radiation of nuclear fusion is released, it creates the star to shine, or in this case it's boiling. It's also become darker, which means that the energy is much higher now. In this, hydrogen is being released as seen by the steam, and it is creating the star to collapse and the core to be denser, which would create the red giant. Most of the mass of the red giant, as shown here, is in the core, where all of the helium and carbon molecules have gone after nuclear fusion. This is causing the core to continuously collapse in different stages and creating layers in the star. This is our star, our red giant. As you can see now, the layers are expanding and growing larger. With each of these, it is growing larger and expanding. The layers are expanding so much that eventually they break off and they just go into space into different directions. This water overflow is a demonstration of the layers expanding and being destroyed and distributed into the space.
As you can see in the previous slide, the red giant's core collapsed. This created the layers to expand, and it created a nebula. A nebula is just the layers from the red giant that they got taken and picked off of the old layers to create and form a nebula.
As you can see here, after the nebula was created, all that was left is the white dwarf, which is the core of the red giant in its final stage, but since it is still very hot, it is called the white dwarf, which means it's very white hot, but it's a dwarf since it is smaller than its original size.
As the temperature in the white dwarf decreases, it slowly becomes luminous and becomes a black dwarf star. As you can see here, the black dwarf is being created.
As you can see, this black dwarf is becoming colder and colder. As it does that, it loses most of its color and it becomes darker and darker until it becomes, as its name is called, a black dwarf, which means it is very luminous, it's very small, and it has a very dark color. As you can see from our video, you can see that the dust cloud of hydrogen that created the protostar has gone from that stage to the stage of a red giant to the stage of a nebula.
And in its millions of years, it has gone from something so great to something so horrible to end its life cycle.
From the white dwarf to the black dwarf to its demise of the black dwarf.
Thank you for watching. Nolan, Kyle, Avalon, and Frankie's cooking show.
Have a nice day!